Welcome to today's English session. I am DS Chakravarti, Assistant Professor of English, Government Degree College for Women, Karimnagar. Our today's topic is phrasal verbs, that is the sequel to earlier video. In the last video, we have already seen the topic phrasal verbs. We have been acquainted with the topic phrasal verbs, and I would like to make a quick recap about the topic phrasal verbs so that we can remember it for a long time. So what are phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are prepositions or adverbs may combine with verbs to form a type of compound verbs which are called phrasal verbs. Basically, phrasal verbs are verbs which are combined with either prepositions or adverbs. So there are only two patterns we need to remember. The first pattern is verb plus preposition. The second pattern is verb plus adverb. So don't be confused. Phrasal verbs are verbs which are combined with either preposition or adverb, and the most important thing is they give us an ultimately absolutely new meaning irrespective of the verb involved. So we have seen several examples in the last video. Let's continue with some more examples in this video. Make something up. Make up. So here the verb is make and the preposition is up. So make something up, and the meaning is, the phrasal verb is make something up, and the meaning is invent, lie about something. And the usage, let's see the example, the phrasal verb make up in an example. And the example is, Josie made up a story about why we were late. By looking at the example, we can understand that they were late to a class or something. And whenever we arrive late to an occasion, we create all sorts of stories. We tell them all sorts of excuses. So that is called make up, make something up, to lie about something. Here what happened? Josie made up a story. So she created a story why they were late. So that is the context of the phrasal verb make something up. The next one, make up. The meaning of the phrasal verb make up is forgive each other. We were angry last night, but we made up at breakfast. So what is the meaning of the phrasal verb make up? To excuse each other. We all do mistakes. We all do errors. To err is human. Humans do all sorts of mistakes. So whenever we do mistakes, the thing we need to do is we need to try for the reconciliation. That means we have to say sorry, or that is apologizing. Then we have to mingle with our friends, with our family members as usual. So that is called makeup. And here what happened in this example, we were angry last night, so there was a heated argument last night, but we made up at breakfast. Later the things were cooled down, and now they have been mingled together. They are happy. They excused each other. The next one is make someone up. Make up someone. So this is the most popular word that we listen to, that we hear, that is makeup. That is the most popular thing. That is apply cosmetics to. Whenever people attend special occasions, special ceremonies, they try to appear more beautiful. That's why what they do, they take help of the cosmetics that we all know. It's not a absolutely new thing for everyone. We know about makeup. We have heard about the word so many times. Now the example, my sisters made me up for my graduation party. So on the day of my graduation party, they applied cosmetics to me so that I look more beautiful on the stage or on the dais. The next one, mix something up. This is the phrasal verb, mix up something. Now the meaning, confuse two or more things. Now the example, I mixed up the twins' names again. So whenever there are twins, usually in the beginning we get confused, we do not recognize them properly. That's why here some what happened, he mixed up the twins' names again. Instead of identifying the right person, he mixed up those names. He was confused. So that is called the mix something up phrasal verb. And the next one, pass away. Pass away is a popular phrasal verb which indicates die, to die. The example is, his uncle passed away last night after a long illness. Typically, what happens here, the verb pass is most popularly used in examinations. I passed the exam. But here the verb is combined with the preposition away and giving a absolutely new meaning, that is die. So this in these circumstances, in these situations, we have to be more careful about what kind of meaning they are producing. So what happened here in this example? His uncle passed away last night after a long illness. So his uncle was hospitalized, and after suffering a lot, he passed away last night. He died last night. The next one, pass out. Again, another phrasal verb with the verb pass, and the preposition is out. The meaning of pass out is faint. Faint ante కళ్ళు తిరిగి కింద పడిపోవడము, మూర్ఛపోవడము, that is called faint. Now the example is, it was so hot in the church that an elderly lady passed out. We all know that in extreme temperatures like extreme hot or extreme cold, we feel uneasy. That means our body do not cooperate with us. In the example, what happened, because it is so hot in the church, the elderly lady, usually the senior citizens, they suffer more because of these extreme climatic conditions. What happened here, the elderly lady fainted. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏం జరిగింది, ఒక వృద్ధురాలు కళ్ళు తిరిగి పడిపోయింది అనే అర్థాన్ని ఇక్కడ ఇస్తుందన్నమాట. ఇట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఆల్ ద టైమ్ whenever school children were forcibly taken to rallies in the midsummer. It happens that kids also, they get fainted, they pass out. The next one, same phrasal verb, pass out, but here we can see pass something out. That means instead of something we use some object. Let's see the meaning. Give the same thing to many people. So if you distribute the same thing to many people, this is called, through the phrasal verb, pass something out. Now let's see an example. The professor passed the textbooks out before class. Here we were discussing about objects. Here the object is the textbooks, and what is happening here? The professor is distributing the textbooks in the classroom. He is distributing the textbooks or some kind of material to the students in his class. So that is indicated with the phrasal verb, pass something out. The next one is pass something up. Another phrasal verb that begins with the verb pass up something. So this is the one that we use in all sorts of quiz shows. That is, a question is offered to a team, and if they do not know the answer for the particular question, what usually they say pass. So this is that phrasal verb. And the meaning of the phrasal verb is decline, usually something good. Decline means to refuse the to answer. That means they do not know the answer, that's why they let them pass. That means they let them go. Now the example, I passed up the job because I am afraid of change. So I declined to join the job because I am afraid of change. I let it go, I left it because I am afraid of change. I don't want to change my place. I don't want to change my designation. I don't want to change my career sector. That's why I passed up. I declined the offer. Next one, pay someone back, payback. It's a very popular term. It's a phrasal verb. So what is pay someone back? The meaning is return owed money. What is the meaning of the phrasal verb pay someone back? If you borrow some money and after some time if you want to return that money and you return that money, then it is called pay back. That is paying back. Let's see an example. Thanks for buying my ticket. I will pay you back on Friday. So you, because of some circumstances, you may not have the money in your wallet at the right time, at the right moment. Then what happened? Your friend bought your ticket. Then you are saying that thanks for buying me my ticket. I will pay you back on Friday. That means I'll return your money on Friday. The next one, pay for something. Pay for something. The meaning is be punished for doing something bad. Now the example, that bully will pay for being mean to my little brother. So what is the meaning of the phrasal verb pay for something? That means he is going to be punished for the crime he did. So what is the crime did he do here? That bully, that means that arrogant person, that rude fellow will pay for being mean to my little brother. I am going to punish him for his deeds. Be punished. The next one, pick something out. That is choose. This is the most popular one and we definitely know about this phrasal verb. Pick means to select something. Now the example, I picked out 3 sweaters for you to try on. By looking at the example, we can understand that they went for shopping and during the shopping, the person picked out 3 sweaters to try on. Try on means to try in the trial room whether it is the right fit for you or not. So that is called pick something out, to choose, to select. Next one, point someone something out. So what is the meaning of point? The meaning is point out means indicate with your finger. We all know that our fingers have different names for each finger and we have a pointing finger also. So if you can remember that one, you definitely remember this phrasal for a long time. So what's the example here? The example is I'll point my boyfriend out when he runs by. So when if you want to see my boyfriend, I will show you when he passes by us. అతను ఇక్కడ పక్క నుంచి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు ఐ విల్ షో యూ హిమ్, అతన్ని నీకు చూపిస్తాను అని చెప్పి ఇక్కడ మనకు అర్థం కనిపిస్తుంది. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, పుట్ సంథింగ్ డౌన్. Put something down. Here something means some kind of object. We can imagine there is an object in this phrasal verb. Now let's see the meaning. Put what you are holding on a surface or floor. Imagine you are carrying something in your hand and if you want to open the lock of your door, then typically what you do, you put down your groceries or whatever you are holding on the floor and then you open the door. So that action is called put something down. The example is you can put the groceries down on the kitchen counter. So you came in and you are asking the person behind you, maybe one of your family member, you can put the groceries down on the kitchen counter. You are asking him to put the groceries down on the kitchen platform. So that's the phrasal verb put something down. Here the object is groceries. Next one, put someone down. This is another phrasal verb which started with the verb put and the preposition is down. Now meaning is insult or make someone feel stupid. That is insulting a person or humiliating a person. Now let's see an example. The students put the substitute teacher down because his pants were too short. So here someone, that indicates a person, Now here the someone is the substitute teacher who is a new teacher, and the meaning of the example is the students put the substitute teacher down because his pants were too short, because of his appearance, because of the pants he wore. The students tried to insult the new teacher. The next one, put something off, put off, that is postpone. Now what is the meaning of this phrasal verb put something off, postpone? Here we can see something that indicates some event or some object. So to understand well, we will go through one example. We are putting off our trip until January because of the hurricane. Hurricane is a kind of storm, a cyclone. So what is happening here? They actually planned for a trip, but because of the hurricane, they are putting off. That is, they are postponing their trip until January. We recently we come across these kind of examples in our real life also. Because of the COVID-19 situation, many marriages were put off. We have seen all those examples in our real life in the last 3 or 4 months. Tours and travels also has been postponed. They were put off for several months. The next one, put something out, to extinguish. Extinguish అంటే నిప్పును ఆర్పివేయడం. You might have seen the fire extinguisher. It's a device which can extinguish the fire in case of a fire breakout, in case of a fire accident. Usually it is suggested, it is recommended in all places where the fire safety is necessary, in schools, hospitals and all those places. So extinguish means put something out, ఆర్పివేయడము. Let's see an example. The neighbors put the fire out before the firemen arrived. So unfortunately there was a fire breakout, and what happened, there someone dialed the firemen, and before the arrival of the fire department, what happened, the neighbors tried themselves and their efforts were so fruitful, and what happened, the fire was put out, that means it was extinguished. The neighbors put the fire out before the firemen arrived. Next one, put something together. We know the meaning of the word together. Now here the phrasal verb is put something together. Something indicates an object or something like that. Now what is the meaning of the verb assemble? Assemble. Let's see an example. I have to put the crib together before the baby arrives. So what is a crib? I think it's a new word for you. Let's see the image of the word crib. So this is a crib. You can imagine it is a kind of cradle, and it is also a kind of safety device so that the baby don't fall from the cradle. So what is happening here? What is the meaning of this example? I have to put the crib together. So the crib was in parts, in different parts. So here he what is he doing? He is putting all those different parts and assembling them and making it into a complete form of a crib. Now the next one, put up with something or put up with someone. So the meaning is tolerate, bear. Example, I don't think I can put up with three small children in the car. I don't think, so it's a negative context. I don't think I can put up with three small children in the car. I don't think I can tolerate with three small children in the car. I don't think it is not possible. So I am helpless. This is the meaning it indicates. Next one, put something on, put on something. The meaning, put clothing, accessories on your body. To say simply, put on means to wear. ధరించడాన్ని మనము put on అని చెప్పి అంటాం. The example is, don't forget to put on your new earrings for the party. Someone is going to the party and their family members are reminding them to wear the new earrings they bought in last week, so that they look more beautiful in the party and they will be the center of attraction for the party. So that is put on. The next one, run into someone or run into something. The meaning is meet unexpectedly. This kind of meaning we have already seen in come across and encounter. In those kind of phrases, come across also gives us the same meaning. Here, let's see one example. I ran into an old school friend at the mall. I was shopping at the mall and unexpectedly I met my old school friend. So that is indicated through the phrasal verb I ran into. Ran into is the past tense of the verb run into, that the phrasal verb run into. So it is already happened. That's why we use the past tense ran. Run into means meet unexpectedly. The next one, run over someone or run over something. Here, someone indicates a person, something indicates an animal or an object. Let's see in detail. Before going into the example, let's understand the meaning. Drive a vehicle over a person or a thing. It clearly indicates an accident, a motor vehicle accident. So you drive a vehicle over a person, that is called run over someone. The example, I accidentally ran over your bicycle in the driveway. Ran over, it's a past tense. So here we have two options. One is someone, the second is something. In this example, we are looking at something. The something is bicycle. That means there is no one injured here. Everyone is fine, but there is some damage occurred to the bicycle. So that is indicated through this example. I accidentally ran over your bicycle in the driveway. The next one, run over or run through something. So the meaning is rehearse, review. We all know about the word rehearsal. Before a skit or before a play, we try to enact all those dialogues, all those parts so many times so that we get perfection. That is called rehearsal. Let's see one example. Let's run over, let's run through these lines one more time before the show. So that show is about to begin in 1 hour or 2 hours. That's why we need to rehearse these lines, these dialogues several times so that our performance will be good. The next one, run away. Here is the verb run and away is the preposition. And let's see what kind of message, what kind of meaning it gives. Leave unexpectedly, escape. In our mother tongue Telugu we call it paripodamu. Now let's see an example. The child ran away from home and has been missing for 3 days. Unexpectedly the child ran away from home. We don't know what the actual reason is, but unfortunately he left his home and has been missing for 3 days and his whereabouts were not known till now. So that is called run away. Next one, run out is a typical phrasal verb which has the verb run and the preposition out, and the meaning is have none left. If there is no stock, then it is called run out. Let's see an example to understand it well. We ran out of shampoo, so I had to wash my hair with soap. We ran out. Here, run, ran, it's a past tense. Here, run doesn't mean that the physical action running. This is to be kept in your mind very carefully. This is the most important feature of phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs give us a completely different new meaning. Here, run doesn't indicate any physical action. Whenever we listen to the word run, we imagine, we visualize running. But what is happening here? Run out means there is no stock. We completely exhausted our stock. That means we ran out of shampoo. The shampoo which is at your home has been ran out. That means there is no stock in your home. So I had to wash my hair with soap. So instead of shampoo, you are using a soap today. That's an alternative for shampoo. So this is the story of the phrasal verb run out. And the next one, send something back. Something means an object, send back. The meaning is return. Let's see an example. My letter got sent back to me because I used the wrong stamp. So what happened? The letter was returned. Simply we can say the letter was returned because he used the wrong stamp. The appropriate stamp was not used. That's why the letter has been returned. Next one, set someone up. Someone indicates a person. The meaning is trick or trap. Now the example, the police set up the car thief by using a hidden camera. Now what happened? The police wanted to catch the car thief, so they set up a hidden camera. It was a trap for him. Unknowingly, he came and he was caught in the trap. So this is called set someone up. Next one, set something up. Again, we can remember something indicates an object or something different. That is, it can be an object or an animal or something. Let's see the meaning. Arrange, organize. Now the example. Our boss set a meeting up with the president of the company. Simply saying set something up means to arrange a meeting. Arrange. Our boss arranged a meeting with the president of the company. Our boss organized a meeting with the president of the company. Now the next one. Shop around. What is shop around? Shop around means compare prices, that we all do all the time. Even in our daily life, when we go to vegetable markets, what we do? We look for quality, and the second thing we look for is for the prices, for a wonderful bargain. In the same manner, whenever you go for shopping to a mall or something, what you do, you compare prices all the time. So here let's see an example. I want to shop around a little before I decide on these boots. When you go for shopping, you do not directly enter into a shop and you buy them right away. First, what we do, we shop around. That means we take a look in the display showcases, and then we come to a decision whether something is good or not. So that is called shop around. The next one, show off. The meaning is act extra special for people watching, usually boastfully. It is also a popular word. షో ఆఫ్ చేయడం అంటే ఉన్నదాన్ని ఎక్కువగా చూపించుకోవడము. ఏదర్ ఇట్ కెన్ బి మనీ ఆర్ ఎనీ అదర్ థింగ్. ఎక్కువగా బిల్డప్ ఇవ్వడాన్ని వి కాల్ ఇట్ షో ఆఫ్. లెట్స్ సీ ఎన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. హీ ఆల్వేస్ షోస్ ఆఫ్ ఆన్ హిస్ స్కేట్ బోర్డ్. మేబీ హిస్ స్కేట్ బోర్డ్ ఈజ్ న్యూ ఆర్ హిస్ స్కేట్ బోర్డింగ్ స్కిల్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ గుడ్. That's why he wants to show his skills. He wants appreciation from the others who are watching him. Let's see the next one. Sleepover. Stay somewhere for the night. It's an informal phrasal verb. So what is sleepover? Imagine you have invited guests for dinner to your home and they arrived late at night, and after their arrival unexpectedly there was a cyclone or something, and there was a heavy rain, and they were unable to go home. And what happens, as a host you ask them to stay for that night at your home to avoid all kinds of troubles in traveling in the heavy rain. So this is called sleepover. Let's see an example. You should sleep over tonight if the weather is too bad to drive home. The same example that we have seen just now. If you feel it is very dangerous to reach your home in this heavy rain, you may sleep over here tonight. You can stay here tonight and you can leave in the morning or any other time. So this is called sleepover. And usually if our grandparents are residing in the same area, that is in the same town, what happens, the grandchildren, they tend to sleep over at their grandparents. ఒకవేళ తాత అమ్మమ్మలు బామ్మలు గనక అదే ఊళ్ళో ఉన్నట్టయితే సాధారణంగా ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే మన్మరాళ్ళు పడుకోవడానికి వాళ్ళ గ్రాండ్ పేరెంట్స్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళడం జరుగుతుంది. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ ఎ స్లీప్ ఓవర్. ఇట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ విత్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఆల్సో. Now the next one, sort something out. Sort something out means to resolve a problem, organize. Whenever we have a problem, we try to solve it in a proper manner, in a logical manner, that is finding the root cause of the problem and what are the opportunities we have to solve the problem and finding those solutions. Then we choose the best one. This is called sorting something out, that is resolving a problem. Now let's see an example. We need to sort the bills out before the first of the month. Now the next one, stick to something, continue doing something, limit yourself to one particular thing. So instead of changing all the things all the time, if you keep on doing the same thing again and again and stick to that, then this phrasal verb can be used in that context. Let's see one example. You will lose weight if you stick to the diet. If you choose a particular diet and if you stick on to the diet, that means to continue the same diet for a long time, then you can see wonderful results. And after trying for several weeks, if you disheartened, that means you lose faith in that diet and you skip your schedule, then it won't give you any results. We have to keep a schedule and we have to stick to that schedule, then only we can achieve good results, whether it is during the examinations time or whether it is during any other time. The next one, switch something off. This is a very popular thing, popular phrasal verb, because switch off is a very popular one. Because of the mobile revolution, we came to know about this phrasal verb very much. Let's see the meaning. Stop the energy flow, turn off. The example, the light is too bright, could you switch it off? So this phrasal verb switch off can be applied to electricity also. Next one, switch something on. Switch something on is the antonym of the switch something off that we have seen just now. So they are used in opposite contexts. Now let's see the meaning. Start the energy flow, turn on. Let's see one example. We heard the news as soon as we switched on the car radio. As soon as we switched on the car radio, we can hear the news. We heard the news just now. The next one, take after someone. Take after someone. The meaning, resemble a family member. Usually we can find the resemblance of our mother, father, our grandparents, our maternal, paternal uncles also. So you can find any resemblance, then we can use the phrasal verb take after someone. It can be a physical appearance or it can be a characteristic. Let's see an example. I take after my mother. We are both impatient. So here we are discussing about not about physical appearance, but we are discussing about a character trait. So what is the character trait here? I take after my mother. I am like my mother. We are both impatient. We don't have patience. So this is the character trait. This is the character trait. I got it from my mother.